Middlesex return to the top of Group A in the Clydesdale Bank 40 competition with their 5th win in 7 games as they defeated Yorkshire by 6 wickets with an over to spare in Leeds. After a long break, the tournament resumed as Neil Dexter won the toss and asked Yorkshire to bat first in a game reduced to 31 overs per side because of the weather. And Collymore took a wicket in the first over, Malan finally holding on at first slip to remove Joe Sayers for a duck. Collymore, not part of the Panthers' T20 plans, got off to a great start and was close to also claiming the wicket of Andrew Gale, this delivery just a fraction too high. Against some very tight bowling, Yorkshire made a slow start as they only scored 36 runs off the first 9 overs. Gale and his partner Adam Lyth had to improvise a bit to try to get the scoreboard ticking over. But in trying to do that, Gale lost his wicket as he top-edged a shot off Stephen Crook, who kept his cool to pounce the opportunity offered by the batsman. Yorkshire then found themselves 3 down with only 41 runs on the board, as Anthony McGrath took on a suicidal single and was easily run out by Crook's direct hit from mid-on. Pressure put on by the bowlers was leading to a fair amount of panic in the Yorkshire ranks, and a brilliant bit of footwork also ran out Lyth, although umpire David Milnes was not able to get into position to give the correct decision. Middlesex could count themselves very unlucky, especially as Lyth and Gary Ballance then started to drag their side back into the game from a position of 53 for 3 after 16 overs. After going 11 overs without a boundary, Ballance played some very neat shots as he started to pick up the rate, which had been completely unsatisfactory as far as the home side were concerned. He produced some moments of magic as well, as Yorkshire made the most of their earlier piece of fortune. Not that Middlesex weren't fighting hard, as emphasised by this very smart piece of fielding off his own bowling from Crook. But Ballance continued to excel in what was becoming an important innings for his side. He smacked Stephen Finn for a 6 on the day that he failed to make it into the England squad for the Lord's Test against India this week. A sharp single took the Zimbabwean to his half-century off his 43rd delivery, an innings containing 4 fours and that 6. It was his first for Yorkshire in this form of the game. He then hit a second 6 as Yorkshire looked to finish their innings strongly. This time Crook was the bowler. Lyth had played a secondary role, but with the overs running out, he too hit out as he also struck Crook for a maximum in an over that cost 22 runs. He too went to his 50, his was made off 69 deliveries, with this shot a streaky one to third man. With 4 overs of the 31 to go, Yorkshire had recovered superbly to reach 152 for 3, but they then lost Ballance for 71 as he holed out to Scott Newman off Dexter. Lyth followed in the next over, flinging the bat at a ball from Collymore, but skying a straightforward catch to Dexter to depart for 52. But Johnny Bairstow then came in and created a bit of mayhem in the final couple of overs, first by driving Dexter over long on for a 6. He then lost Ajmal Shahzad with 14 balls left and the total on 169 as Dexter bowled him for a golden duck. But the final over certainly belonged to Bairstow, who ruined Collymore's figures with some sublime hitting. A short-arm shot brought him his first 6 in the over. He followed that up next ball with a clean strike over long on. And he made it 3 in a row with a very well-timed flick over mid-wicket. It was a fantastic finish for the home side. Collymore got his revenge with the penultimate ball as Bairstow failed to connect properly and was caught for 33 off 15 balls. Crook took the catch while on the seat of his pants after a slip. So in the end, with 27 coming off the final over, Bairstow had helped his side to a very competitive 196 for 7 from their 31 overs. So Newman and Malan had a job on their hands to set their side a good platform. And both played some delightful shots to get the innings moving in the right direction. Newman took on Richard Pyra, advancing down the wicket to him before dispatching him for the first 6 of the innings, as this pair put on 59 in the opening 11 overs. But then both men fell in the space of 4 deliveries. Newman thumped a ball from Ben Sanderson into the hands of Ryan Sidebottom to go for 33, and Malan gloved a reverse paddle off Adil Rashid to Bairstow after making 31. So, with a total on 64 for 2 at the start of over number 13 and 133 needed off the remaining 19, Middlesex had to start again with Paul Stirling and Chris Rogers. Stirling tucked into Pyra, hitting him for successive boundaries, while Rogers played some terrific strokes at the other end, which kept the Panthers right up with the rate required. Before too long, this pair were developing a crucial partnership, which would put their side well on top. Stirling, like a number of his Irish countrymen, is becoming a very handy one-day player. Quick hands help, as shown here as he pulled Shazad for a 6. Yorkshire was struggling to stem the flow of runs as both batsmen continued to express themselves. Stirling showed that his style is not all about muscle. He also placed his shots really well, especially off the leg spin of Rashid. Rogers, meanwhile, was playing so well that he seemed to be able to play a number of shots with just the one hand. He was first to his excellent 50, which came with another superb shot. This was his 6th four in an innings thus far lasting 40 balls. Stirling was even quicker to his half-century. A couple thrashed through the covers took him there off just 37 deliveries, an innings including 5 fours and a 6. And he celebrated by adding a second maximum next ball with another very well executed pull shot. Thanks to these two, Middlesex were absolutely cruising to their target. They'd added 116 in 13.5 overs when Stirling was bowled by Sidebottom for 57. And with just 15 required off 26 balls, Rogers followed him back to the dressing room after getting a thick outside edge off Shazad and being held at third man for 51. But the job had been done, and Dexter and Jamie Dalrymple eased their side over the line with an over to spare. After all of the problems in the T20, this was a thoroughly professional performance from Middlesex, who'd made their target look an easy one, as they overhauled Sussex at the top of their group.